Hi everybody, this is Teacher Ann, and I'm excited that today I'm going to read to you an article from the Boston Globe, a wonderful newspaper in Boston. Of course, you can see it online as well. The article is written by Jenna Russell, who is a writer for the Boston Globe. It was written on May 25th, 2020, and it is called Repaying a Kindness. Resettled Syrian tailor shares mask-making skills with those who guided him to safety. And I will explain words as I go along. They arrived as refugees from Syria 3 years ago, exchanging the danger and uncertainty of their war-torn homeland for the sanctuary of a rented house on a quiet street in Framingham. Since then, Abdul Qadir Hayani and his family have settled into their lives as Americans, working hard, learning English, dreaming of buying a house. And as I read this story, I want you to think, please, about what are the dreams and the goals of this family, and are they succeeding? Are they succeeding in reaching their goals and realizing their dreams? And when danger and uncertainty enveloped them again, this time in the form of a pandemic, they were ready to take on a new role, not as victims of the crisis this time, but as capable leaders of one of countless efforts to step up and help. It is a reversal that resonates deeply for the young Syrian tailor, whose well-honed professional skills, that means he's worked very hard to get his skills, are ideally suited to the task of making face masks. The love and support that surrounded his family in their first weeks and months in this country left the new immigrants amazed, deeply grateful, and eager for the opportunity to become benefactors, which means helpers, instead of beneficiaries. Beneficiaries are people that receive help. Ever since we came here, people have been helping us and making us feel comfortable, Hayani said through an Arabic interpreter. Now we have a chance to help other people. His experience escaping from a bloody civil war has proven useful in this new time of crisis. A bloody civil war means the war that he and his family left in Syria. A civil war is when different groups of people fight each other in the same country. He knows what it is to be patient, to wait years in hope of a return to normal life. And it is patience he counsels today, along with perspective and faith. So many of you know the word patient. The adjective is a very good skill, a soft skill, which means you're good at waiting. You can wait, you're patient. And he counsels patience today. It means he advises the rest of us. He tells the rest of us that it's important to have patience. In Syria, Hayani left school at 9 years old to learn the respected craft of tailoring beside his brother. In time, he came to own his own tailor shop in Aleppo, that's a city in Syria, overseeing 6 employees and 10 sewing machines. That means he supervised 6 employees and he was in charge of 10 sewing machines. The business was only a year old when the Syrian civil war began, and the city he loved began to fall to rubble. It began to be destroyed. He fled with his family to Jordan and waited in limbo. That means he was not here, he was not there. He could not leave Jordan, he could not go back to Syria. That's what limbo means, when you're in between things, for 5 years before being able to come to America. These days, the Hayani family, including Abdul Qadir's wife Asma and their 4 young children, gather in their bright, spacious basement in Shrewsbury, lights streaming in through a sliding glass door, as they work together, manufacturing or making face masks at a rate of 50 or 60 per day, or each day. Abdul Qadir irons sharp pleats. He irons with an iron, presses into the fabric, while his oldest son, Mustafa, runs the sewing machine. The younger children trim extra threads from the fabric with scissors. Several hundred masks made by the family have already been distributed for free to people in need, including migrant farm workers. That means immigrants who are working on farms, and residents visiting food pantries in Boston, people who go to places called pantries to get free food. Masks may be ordered for a suggested donation of $18 a piece, or for each one, money that will help support other Syrian refugees. One of the donated masks went to Anthony Meeks, a longtime city outreach worker. That's a job title. It means he works in the city and he counsels young people on the streets of Boston. It means he helps homeless teenagers and other young people who don't have a place to live or who have other kinds of struggles and challenges. That's what this man does for his work. This is Anthony speaking. I looked in the bag and realized it was personally made by somebody, and for this I am so honored, Meeks wrote in a heartfelt thank you note. Just think, you probably saved my life with the mask, right? The mask making project has brought the Syrian family together again with their friends from Temple Beth Elohim in Wellesley, the socially active synagogue that sponsored their 2017 resettlement. That means the people from this temple, which is a Jewish place of worship, those people helped the family come to the United States and settle in their homes here in Massachusetts. Volunteers from the temple rented and furnished, they provided the furniture for the Hayani's new home and greeted them at the airport when they arrived. They also served for months as a surrogate extended family. Surrogate means in place of. So they were like their new family here in the Boston area, providing childcare, rides to job interviews, and daily help navigating American culture, helping them learn how to live in the United States. Now, partnered again on the mask making project, some of the same volunteers who guided his first steps toward assimilation, towards mixing in and being comfortable in the United States, are taking direction from the Syrian tailor on the finer points of sewing. To see these new Americans looking for ways to give back is heartwarming and joyous, said Michael, a member of the temple, who is leading the mask project. It restores hope and lets us know that kindness remains the driving force, whatever our religion or belief system. So he's saying it brings us hope, knowing that kindness is what's important. Members of the temple's Social Action Committee, that's a group of people who work hard for social justice, have tracked down needed fabric and hard to find elastic for the masks, and have taken the lead in distribution. About 20 have begun sewing themselves. On a Zoom tutorial with the Temple's crew, the Temple's group or team of volunteer stitchers or sewers last month, Abdul Qadir answered questions about fabric layering and stitch counts, how many stitches to do. Asked how wide the ironed pleats in each mask should be. He waited patiently while his interpreter tried to find the Arabic word for pleats. Pleats are like they're part of clothing, like where places are folded. When the question was answered, the word, and so he understood the question, he said in English, 1 inch and 1/4. My Arabic sewing vocabulary is maybe not as good as it should be. After working with Abdul Qadir for 3 years, joked interpreter Danny from the Immigrant Services of Jewish Family Service of Metro West. This organization has helped the family with their resettlement. At the end of the Zoom call, Temple volunteer Barbara thanked the tailor in Arabic, and smiling, he responded with the Hebrew word for peace, shalom. And Hebrew is a language that is used by Jews all over the world, and it is also the language of people that live in Israel. The two have known each other since the night in January 2017 when the Hayani family first arrived at Logan Airport, when Shapiro carried one of his, when one of the volunteers carried one of Abdul Qadir's exhausted, very tired daughters. Altogether, 8 Syrian families were resettled west of Boston by a coalition or group of 10 temples and the Framingham nonprofit Jewish Family Services. All the transplanted Syrians, all the Syrians that moved here, found work after some time, but several have recently lost their jobs because of the pandemic. Donations that were received in exchange for the masks will help support the families with financial needs. The masks are available to order online, and this effort has raised $8,000 so far, and that's from when this article was written in May, so probably more by now. Abdul Qadir considers himself lucky. The store where he is a tailor has been closed, but he expects that he will have his job when it reopens. His family recently was able to get a house, and his children are doing very well, playing soccer and speaking English. He also wants them to learn Arabic. He says he feels comfortable in ways he could not have imagined 3 years ago. I know more people, I talk to people more, and I begin to understand Americans and how they live and think. He decided to make the masks after he saw a New York doctor on TV describing how he had to wear the same mask for 3 days in a row. Abdul Qadir made a short video with his son, and then when the temple members saw the video, they asked if they could be partners with him on this project. The first batch or group of masks went for the staff at Jewish Family Service. That was the organization that helped his family. And he said he is grateful, he is thankful that he could in a small way return their kindness. his freedom to help, that many of us in the United States might think that that's not such a big deal, it feels to him like a revelation, a really big deal. If you wanted to help someone in Syria, he said, you would probably die. He said he thinks Americans may understand a little better now the hard experience of refugees like him. They know what it feels like to have something heavy hanging overhead, hanging over their head. So I think I need to stop now because this is a very long article and I don't have a lot of time left on my YouTube video, but I hope you like this article. It's in the Boston Globe, and I want to just emphasize the title again, Repaying a Kindness, Resettled Syrian Tailor Shares Mask-Making Skills with those who guided him to safety. So this is a story about an immigrant family who came here, and they were helped by people from many different religions and experiences. And they also, this family, when they became comfortable, they wanted to give back. And this man used his tailor skills to make masks. So he did something that we say at JVS, we call these skills transferable skills, that he is a tailor and he had tailor skills to work in a tailor shop. But when the pandemic happened, he used his skills to make masks. So I hope you like the story, again, by Jenna Russell from the Boston Globe. And I look forward to reading to you again some more. Stay safe and keep learning English. That is your best tool for your dreams to come true.